Fed boss Powell stands up for $2.5 billion renovation plan, smart investment or wasteful spending. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell is taking a bold and unapologetic stance in defense of a $2.5 billion renovation project for the central bank's Washington, D.C. headquarters, an initiative that's drawing both sharp criticism and cautious praise. In a time of rising debt, inflation concerns, and heated political divisions over government spending, Powell's unwavering support for this massive plan is sparking national debate. So, what's behind this eye-popping price tag, and why is Powell so committed to seeing it through? The brains behind the billions, the renovation project in question centers around the Eccles Building, the historic home of the Federal Reserve Board. Built in the 1930s, the building hasn't seen a full overhaul since its original construction. Officials say it's overdue. Not just for a facelift, but for a top-to-bottom modernization to bring the facilities in line with 21st century security, technology, and sustainability standards. Powell has made the case that this isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. We're stewards of a critical institution, he stated during a recent congressional hearing. Ensuring its integrity and safety is our responsibility to the American people. The renovations will include seismic upgrades to meet modern safety codes, major improvements to IT infrastructure and cybersecurity, energy-efficient systems to reduce long-term operational costs, accessibility enhancements for compliance with AADA requirements, expanded workspaces to support a growing staff and research capabilities. Critics call foul. Not everyone is buying Powell's argument. Fiscal conservatives and watchdog groups have criticized the project as tone-deaf in an era when Americans are grappling with high living costs and ballooning national debt. Some lawmakers are asking whether a public institution that preaches fiscal discipline should really be spending billions on its own headquarters. Senator J.D. Vance called the project government excess at its worst, suggesting that the Fed should set an example of restraint, not indulgence. Others have raised questions about timing. With inflation still running hotter than the Fed's 2% target and interest rates already placing pressure on consumers and businesses, is now the right moment for the central bank to launch an expensive capital project? Powell's counter, long-term investment, but Powell isn't backing down. He's emphasized that the project has been under planning for years, well before the pandemic or the current inflationary period. He also pointed out that much of the funding comes not from taxpayer dollars, but from the Federal Reserve's own operating revenues, including interest on its portfolio holdings. Supporters argue that the Fed, arguably the most powerful economic institution in the world, needs a secure, modern base of operations to continue carrying out its core functions, managing monetary policy, regulating banks, and maintaining financial stability. To some observers, Powell's defense of the project is emblematic of his leadership style: calm, methodical, and focused on long-term outcomes, even in the face of political noise. What's at stake? This isn't just about bricks and mortar. The broader debate touches on questions of trust, transparency, and priorities in government. Is this a prudent investment in the backbone of American economic management? Or an example of how disconnected Washington has become from the financial struggles of ordinary people? Critics and defenders alike agree on one thing: the Fed is under more scrutiny than ever. With the 2024 election cycle heating up and populist movements gaining ground, how the Fed conducts its business, physically and philosophically, will be in the spotlight. Conclusion: smart spending or symbol of disconnect? Jerome Powell's defense of the $2.5 billion renovation plan for the Federal Reserve's headquarters raises important questions about how we value institutional integrity versus fiscal responsibility. Whether you view this project as a wise long-term investment or a misguided use of funds, one thing is clear: the Fed is evolving, not just in its economic policy, but in the physical space it inhabits. What do you think? Is this the kind of infrastructure upgrade the U.S. needs? Or is the Fed missing the bigger picture? Tell us your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories shaping our economy. This video has been brought to you in part by LLCincorporationsplus.com, helping you build smarter, stronger businesses.